You see how many are in there, right?
Yeah.
And you saw I took one out of my pocket and gave it to you.
Is that where you took it from?
Yeah, out of my pocket. I walk with a dime in my right pocket every day.
Why?
Because of what they meant to me or what they mean to me.
What do they mean to you?
So, but the craziest part to all of this, do you remember the day? It was in October, funny enough, the 10th month of the year. You and I were on the phone for like 4 hours. It was like an entire afternoon. I was at the community center close to my house, and I was sitting on the park bench. And it was one of those...
Last October?
Nah,
What
this is
October
2 Octobers ago.
Oh, okay.
This is like...
It's a long conversation, man.
But the reason why I remember is because... trust me, it was like an entire afternoon. I don't even know why I called Priya, but I almost want to say it was the October 24th, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometime... the week of the 22nd, it was like the 22nd, the 24th, 20th, something like that.
Okay.
But I had explained everything that was going on with me.
Yeah.
And I was sharing all of that. Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, I do now.
And how long we were on the phone and I explained everything. And I was like, funny enough, it was the 10th month of the year. And I spoke to my grandmother that day. And that was the first day I told her about all of that stuff. And for anybody who's watching us, I went through a pretty difficult separation. It lasted longer than it really should have. And it was pretty bad. And I had people around me that I was having
very bad.
You said it, not me.
Yeah.
Very significant conversations with. And again, that's kind of where this idea of this even started. So the validating moment for I think every one of us in this room is everything you just said about the dimes. Because we all have our own things. From it was introduced and I was like, yo, this dime thing keeps happening to me. Where I'm finding dimes. And it's never any other loose change. It's always just one single dime by itself.
Yeah. That's
There's
wild.
never anything else around it.
That's
never
really wild.
It's always just that one single dime.
But even what you're saying like this came out of something that was, I would say, dark, right?
Yeah.
So like you turned your darkness into light, and that's the same
all you
thing.
Can do.
That's the same thing I did with body ammo. I was going through a very, very traumatic, dark period of my life, and I'm like, I need this energy somewhere else. I cannot dwell on this because I don't know if I can come out of this.
And
like,
what was?
I don't think I can.
So what was crazy?
And so that's how body ammo was born. So I'm just saying, like, even with this, you're going through probably one of the hardest times of your life, and you created something beautiful out of that.
And the funny thing was when we had these conversations about like, yeah, sure, yeah, but I don't know, maybe like, oh, Bunny started a podcast, because like people were talking about it. I was like, man, like everybody has one of those. Like, what's gonna make our soul turn up? Yeah, but I mean, we started.
But that's the thing, right? It's like everybody has a white cotton T-shirt. What makes one
exactly?
You pay $2.50 for one and $5 for the other. Yeah, right. And
sometimes it's even just the story behind it.
Exactly.
And even there's a reason why I have this T-shirt on today too. Yeah, funny enough, because this is where it started for me.
What?
Big up Andrew Schultz. He was recently in town, but Brilliant Idiots. My younger sister introduced me to podcasts. Like she was always trying to get me onto podcasts, and I was like, I mean, I'll get around to it. And we've spoken about how annoying it was that we knew what podcasts were when we were in school back in like 2008. Yeah. We just never cared enough to like try a thing.
Right.
It took us this long.
But it's time and place, right?
Exactly. So my sister kept like plugging it with me. And I was already a regular listener of Breakfast Club. And I'm like a day one Breakfast Clubber. I'm talking like 2011. First thing in the morning, I'm waking up. And that's going on. So my sister always wondered why I don't follow Charlamagne outside of the Breakfast Club. And she was like, you probably like Brilliant Idiots. I finally went and listened to it for the first time, and
you were hooked?
Yo, like regular.
But that's what, it just takes one clip, one episode, like one something.
What it was, it's like, it gave you an opportunity to hear people think, like speaking their thoughts in real time and not worrying about the consequences in any way. And it was sickening in a way. Because at times you're like, damn, yo, that questionable thought that I just had, if I said it out loud, people are going to look at me away. But them mind, they're saying it in real time. And they're not even worried about it. And like, I would love to speak like that if I had the opportunity to. Because now I know that there are other people out there in the world that think the same way I do. Yeah. And it just felt so welcoming. And then eventually I just fell in love with it and I was hooked. And I don't know, but Hadouken! Going back to the dimes again, if you haven't noticed, it's in our logo. It's in the microphone.
What?
All of those things in there represent something to each one of us, and we were very intentional about putting the dime in there.
Those are dimes?
No, one of them is.
Yeah.
Take a good look at the logo at some point, but
I'm gonna look right now.
Trust me, it's one of those things that's worth studying because everything in there represents each one of us. Well, the three of us for the most part. Not overall. He's like the real brains behind the whole thing, so he was okay with just having the logo as a whole. But he's like, nah, you guys go ahead and choose. Each one of us have 3. So I chose 3 things in there. SB chose 3 things, and then Face chose 3 things.
What are the 3 things? Why don't you talk about it?
We don't have time for all of that, but the dimes thing.
Okay,
we did that.
No, but going back to the dimes, I didn't finish the story.
Which one is a dime? Oh, this?
Yeah. Anybody watching, you can go take a look at it, zoom in somehow. I don't know, figure it out.
Barbados.
But
Trees.
you're not even listening to my story,
sorry,
man.
sorry,
the
man,
dimes, the energy. Come on, man.
Okay.
Fix up.
Sorry. Shut up, man.
Hey, don't make me take back your button, eh?
You're never gonna take it back. Come on now. Because you know you're not going to.
Because you know it's turn up.
Talk your talks, but you know you're not going to. Say it with your
that
chest.
conversation happened in the 10th month, and that was also the same day that I told my grandmother everything. And then my grandmother had prayed on the phone. And you know when like you have that grandmother prayer is different.
Yeah.
You know those ones like that grandmother prayer is different.
Yeah.
So my grandmother prayed on the phone, and again, it was in the 10th month. I even put up. This is when I had that first Instagram account that I opened up. I don't even know if you have that one.
I don't know.
But I posted something on there. It's literally 10 swipes, and it was all my ancestors, because that's what they say the dimes represent. It's your ancestors that are looking out for you.
I didn't know that.
So the reminder to me was almost like that's somebody. Like somebody, like they're reminding me that they're here for me.
Right.
Just keep doing what you're doing, bro. We got you type shit.
Yeah.
Priya, I'm telling you, some of the most awkward places I found those things.
No, it's crazy.
I'm telling you, you wouldn't imagine, like, how is that thing even there right now?
My bait, like, it doesn't make sense.
But
it just doesn't make sense.
The best part to all of it was, though, I told this guy, and then what happened to you, bro?
Yeah. Well, it's been happening, but I didn't know what to relate it to. I was just like, I found dimes too. So when you were saying it, it wasn't even like, because you know me too. I have my own skeptic beliefs too. Like I'm like think I'm woke or spiritual, whatever. But at the same time, I'm a skeptic when it comes to certain shit. So that being said, when you brought that to me, I wasn't looking at it like, bro, like you're fighting change. Like when you brought it to me, I was just like, I know what's up. I know what's up, but I didn't know the deeper meaning. So then when we got into that, I was just like, that's what it is. It's like that. Okay. So then to bring it all back, when I was in Barbados and I found my dime.
In Barbados?
In Barbados, yeah.
Priya, that ain't even it. Yeah. Trust me, that ain't even it. That ain't even it. That's not even it. I'm gonna up that. I'm gonna up that for you. Watch this, yo.
So the first hour, I'm just like, yo, that's granddad. He's like, oh, you reach? Yeah? All right, cool. Go on, do your thing. Respect, dude. Like, that's granddad. Just, yeah.
And then when we introduced it to this guy, what happened to you?
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Even like the first day that I got to New York at Roosevelt.
And what we started
Jackson
doing
Heights.
was taking pictures. Yeah. We started taking pictures and sharing them in the group chat. And every time it's like sometimes we give an explanation, sometimes we'd record it, but we just kept taking pictures and sharing it in the group. Then what happened to you, bro? There's even a night we were out.
Sorry, you found one in New York?
We found one in Ohio. We're like, Priya, levels to this, yo.
Yeah, like the Atlanta one's kind of crazy.
Does anybody see that? Bro, this man's hating me right now.
Yo, but it's like hearing this right now, you're not just as mind blown. This is crazy.
At this point, like I don't want to say I'm numb to it, but like I know what it is. Yeah. It don't like at this point. It's just part and parcel of what it is. Yeah. You know,
it's been a while.
See that? How would I find something like that?
What is that?
A CD.
No, I know it's
band.
a CD.
It's like one of those.
It's 10 cents jingling throughout the whole album.
It's one of those quartets. Like one of those like Boston quartets or something like that. Like one of those trumpet soundtracks type shit. Trust me, you wouldn't even believe where I would find these things. Like that's not even a real dime, but you get what I mean?
No.
Yo, trust me, it was crazy. I had to buy it. I saw it and I had to buy it. I saw it and I had to buy it. Shout out Volley.
So when he's going for a walk, he's got his Walkman on. He's listening to that. He's got a diamond. He's got a diamond in his right pocket.
Yeah.
My man's repping the dimes heavy.
Trust me. We went to Atlanta, found one there. Found one literally as we were all like we just got in the car together, stopped to get food right before we're going to the highway. No. Behind the car. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
On the street?
Parking lot.
Multiple times.
Like right beside it.
Multiple times.
Of all the places to park.
That is fucked.
Underneath the tree and nothing else. Single dime.
Yeah, hold on. Before we even left at the gas station.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That's
funny.
wild.
And then also everybody, like even I've work friends now who I shared some of this with. Dimes. Yes. And it's people that I've been speaking to, that I've shared this with.
Yeah.
Who would believe.
Yeah.
Dimes.
That's crazy.
So I made a point of every day walking with a dime in my pocket, in my right pocket. So there's always somebody with me. As crazy as it sounds, but the one I gave you, you keep that. That's for you. But that's how deep that runs.
I'm not gonna lie, I need these ancestors to start throwing me some bills.
I mean, but you see what we do. I collect them. I was gonna whatever.
I was like, oh, let me ask.
I mean, it's not going anywhere.
I thought that's where you got it from.
No, but that's why I read it.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that I usually carry in my pocket.
I'm so sorry.
Until I find another one. But yeah. I feel like after this, I'm probably gonna go find one just now.
Of course.
This is wild. Trust me.
Wild.
This ain't crazy.
No, I'm kind of at where he's at with it, where it's like I'm just kind of like numb to it now.
Yeah.
I feel like when you
we've never spoken about this.
No, never. But I feel like when you get to that part, like the guys at the cafe, like they're super numb to it. So like when they're telling me about it, like I'm still like mind blown every time, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm finding them here, and I'm like, same thing. I'm actually like taking pictures of it.
Yeah.
And then when I see them, I'm like, why is this under my ottoman? Like, I don't carry change. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Trust me.
So I'm saying, like, once you get to that spot or whatever, you're just like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is the path I'm supposed to be on. The dimes are showing me that I'm going in the right direction. So I'm not like shocked about it. I'm just like, it's like affirmed kind of thing.
Yeah.
Different, yo. Like, different. Like, this is different. So I shouted out Miss Tab. If anybody who don't like, you know Miss Tab? You know Miss Tab? Not Miss Tab. You know Miss Tab? So she's a black, I guess. I wouldn't call her social media. She has a show. I don't know if it's on PBS in the States, but she does a lot of online content. She has some stuff on YouTube, but she does a kids show.
I'm gonna get familiar.
Her full name's Tabitha Brown. Google her, YouTube her, whatever, you'll find her. But she has a video online, a couple videos that I've seen speaking about this exact same thing.
Okay.
This exact same thing. So
about
when
dimes?
So when I found that, I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Because now I know I'm not crazy. Mm-hmm. And then seeing comments that were people leaving, it's like, okay, thank you. I know I'm not crazy. Mm-hmm. But for us, it's just always been specifically dimes.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's nothing ever around it, just a single dime by itself.
Yeah.
So I have two stories that I can top I think the Barbados one. Well, one actually. But
I think I know you. Oh, go on.
The day of my mom's funeral.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Service is done now, and we're all walking back out of the church. And, the family typically would lead, right? So we're at the front. So nobody else has walked out yet. But another friend of mine, shout out Dippy, was at the door. Like, he just happened to end up posting up at the door, like, towards the end. And as I got to him, he grabbed me. And he's like, he like, grabbed me close and pulled me. And he's like, yo, dog, look. There was a dime on the floor in the church.
Yeah, that's...
And my daughter picked it up. Can you imagine, yo? And he knew about the whole dimes thing because he and I have been together for 1-2 of them. So he was very familiar. So seeing that in that moment, it was, the chills.
That's a very emotional moment.
Nats and I have been together on occasions and I found them. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like,
see, that doesn't make sense. But it doesn't have to make sense.
It's divine. That's the thing. Yeah, that's why it doesn't make sense. Yeah.